Alright, so in this video, we are going to continue cleaning up our rim. We just fixed the rim, and that's a term that comes from throwing on the pottery wheel. Kind of cleaning up the rim and rounding it out. All this stuff is important when you're making stuff on the pottery wheel, as well as when you are making hand-built things. My rim is a little thick right there, so I'm just gonna squeeze it. Or I can carve it in a little bit. Definitely don't like the shape of that. Okay, so I have used the smooth rib. It is still pretty rough texture. I'm just gonna take my hand and try to smooth it out. Best I can with that. You don't want to leave this textured. It's going to be very hard to drink from. What will end up happening is you will turn this into a pencil holder instead of something that you would want to have hot chocolate in or anything like that. Okay. All right, so rim's better. I'll work on it a little bit more later. But now we need to talk about the foot. And everything that is hand-built and thrown, well, normally, we create what's called a foot. And that would be this part. This would be our foot ring. Okay? The inside has a tendency to pop out a little bit. So you can imagine if everything was flat, if the center part popped out a little bit, it wouldn't sit flat. So we do this to a lot of our ceramics. There are people that get away with not doing it, and that's fine, but for us, we're going to have a foot. All right, so I'm finding something round. You'll see, of course, it's a cup that I threw, so it's probably somewhat roundish. And I'm making a ring. It's not perfectly in the center, though. You can see it's a little off. But that's okay. That doesn't matter, actually. And if this clay was soft, I could just push down in the center. I'll just push down in here. But my clay is not soft. And so I'm going to have to take my loop tool that I made, which I'm looking around and I don't see it. So here is what your loop tool is supposed to be replicating, an actual real ribbon tool. So I'm going to scoop out just a little bit, this part, the inside of the ring. If you go too far, you're going to put a hole right through the bottom of your cup. Now, what happens if you forget to put on a foot where your clay dries out too fast and it's not soft enough to carve a foot? Well, it could be fine. I'm not going to lie to you and say, well, that's it. It's not going to sit flat. It could sit flat still. But I have a lot of issues with the center popping out. It's just a normal thing. I mean, this is for function, this ring. Trust me, I wouldn't do it if I didn't think I needed to do it. But if yours ends up sitting nice and flat anyway without a foot ring, which you won't know until after it's fired, then fine. Then you have lucked out, and that's awesome. All right, I'm almost done here. Again, I don't want to carve out too much because I don't want to go through the bottom of it. Sometimes we make our bases ½ inch thick and the sides of our walls ¼ inch thick, so we can make a nice tall foot and we can remove a lot more. Okay, I'm going to smooth that out a little bit with my hand, and then I'm going to put my name and my class period in the bottom. Okay. Without going through it. Don't put it on the foot ring.